Hoda, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Whenever.
Reb, you're good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's hit record in 3, 2, 1, now.
I am the swarm.
This isn't gonna just blow over. The Zerg won't stop until we're all dead.
Vengeance shall be mine.
The 7 evils are one within me. I am Legion.
Stay a while and listen.
To ask why we fight is to ask why leaves fall.
You are not prepared.
Warcraft players, where you at? Starcraft players, where you at? Diablo players, where you at?
This week has exploded with news, and we got the most amazing email. Episode 53 is dedicated to Feshes. Welcome to BlizzPro's Twizzcast.
Disturbing hallucination. We are hearing
Welcome to Twizzcast, everyone. We are here to share with you our experiences and news concerning all games under the Blizzard Entertainment logo, ranging from World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, and much more. But if you're curious as to who we are, I will be more than happy to bring in the co-hosts. Hailing from the great state of North Dakota, she's a lady in public and the gamer girl that your mom warned you about in the battlegrounds. It's Reb. Hello, dear.
Hello, Twiz, and you can now officially call me Blizzard Barbie.
Why is that?
Because I'm the Blizzard player who looks like a Barbie.
Oh, well, I was going to call Hoda that. So, speaking of which, I may as well give him the introduction he deserves. From the other side of North Dakota, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the Potpally 5000. Hoda, hello, sir.
Now, I don't know if it's worse being a Barbie or a Ken doll because, you know, they don't have a thing, you know. Anywho, aloha!
Okay.
From North Dakota, it was a nice 57 sunny degrees, so I have my Hawaiian shirt on tonight. I'm feeling good.
Okay. Yeah, 'tis the season, man. You know? So,
That's how we roll in North Dakota, just so
it's
you know.
true. It's true.
Yes.
That's what I've heard. So, and for those of you who are wondering, my name is Twiz. Hello, chat room. I play a Brewmaster Monk along with these guys in Twisted Empire and a Bear Tank in Twisted Dynasty, both on Colteris US server. And in the chat room, I'd like to give my salute to the chat room bouncer, Angry Orc. Hello, sir. Very good to see you. Just a reminder, everyone, there are several ways that you can get your Twizzcast and BlizzPro fix. We are available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and the RSS feed can be found at Twizzcast.com. The show notes for this episode and everything discussed can also be found at Twizzcast and BlizzPro.com. Lastly, for those of you who are interested and want to email us, podcast at BlizzPro.com will also get you into our inbox. Now, real quick, you know what? I wanted to bring this up because I never really talk too much about this. Hoda and Breb, when you guys listen to your podcasts, what do you use to listen to them? Like, what program do you use?
I use the podcast app on my iPhone.
Oh, okay. I don't have an iPhone, so my wife uses the same thing. So, what do you use? What do you use, Hoda?
I mostly use my phone as well, but I got an Android, so I just use the Stitcher app, which is really great, actually. So that's how I rock it mostly. Yeah.
Cool. I hate Stitcher.
And if they don't update it yet, I just go to the websites a lot of the time too on some of the podcasts, but mostly Stitcher. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got to tell you what. One of the things, and I'm not sponsored by this or anything like that, but I use a program called Beyond Pod, and it's for Android. And you know what? I really like it. The search functions that you can do with it as far as searching for podcasts. I mean, you pretty much just type in the podcast name. It brings up the RSS feed. You subscribe. But the cool thing that I noticed about it is, especially if you're like a Wi-Fi downloader or whatever, just listening to it, the sound quality is so much better because Stitcher is built around, you know, streaming efficiency and not eating up your data plan. But if the data plan doesn't really matter, like, it is truly night and day. Like, I listen to this show on Stitcher, and then I also listen to it on Beyond Pod, and it's almost like it's a very distinct difference. So you can, I don't know, you can just pick up and come back to your podcasts a lot easier. So I don't know, I use Beyond Pod for my Android, and I'm a big fan of it. So.
Is it a free download?
It's a free download. There is a trial, but you know what? In the end, you do have to pay for it. And again, I don't make a single red cent off. These guys don't even know I'm talking about it. But it is it's worth every penny. I own I own it. Obviously, the full unlicensed version is a couple bucks. So, let's see here. You know what? I wanted to throw that out there because it's like I always talk about all the different ways you can get a hold of us, and this is that's just what I use. So, we do have a ton of information to cover with you guys tonight, but it wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about our week in gaming just a little bit. So, Reb, why don't you enlighten us, dear? What have you been doing this past week?
Well, it's actually few and far between that I would bring this up, but when Diablo 3 first came out, I had not played any of the other Diablo games. I had no clue what I was in for, and I played it for probably a good 4 weeks straight, like nonstop at my computer. Like, you know that guy that died from gaming for like 40 hours straight playing Diablo 3? I'm pretty sure I was like 2 hours away from that myself. 1 or 2 times. Just saying.
Nice.
And since that first month got up, I've been touching it here and there, but nothing really major. Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Barbie doll talk.
Barbie just got
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can touch me anywhere. I think that's how that song goes. Anyways, I've been playing
so where were we
Diablo.
all?
Okay. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Kai, somebody had to do it. Sorry. Twizz, I was waiting for you to jump in. Come on.
Yeah.
Back on topic,
Back on
Hoda.
topic.
Goodness gracious. But, yeah, I've been playing Diablo this past week, and it is so much fun. And I think what I find most thrilling about it is, I don't have time to wait for a queue anymore. I wake up, I go to school, I have a little bit of time before I go to class, I come home for lunch, and then I go to work, and I come home, and then I have a little bit of time, and then I have to start homework, so my time is kind of limited. What I like about Diablo is I can push further, and I can push as far as I want to, and collect as much as I want to, and I don't have to sit in a queue for scenario, or heroic, or LFR, or anything, and I think that's what's really been drawing me to Diablo this past week, and I just forgot how much fun it was.
Yeah.
And I have a level 60 monk, and yeah, she's fun, she heals, she does this and that, but I was really playing her along with my partner at level 60, and we kind of complemented each other, but I've been playing my low-level demon hunter and just doing her solo, and she is B.A., I tell you. Have you ever tried hunting some demons in some high-heeled boots? Some 5-inch heels?
Just once in real life.
Yeah.
Just once.
And and it had just rained, and it didn't work out very well for me. So, yeah.
Did you break a heel?
I did break a heel, and I chipped a nail too. So.
Everyone knows you keep some super glue in your fanny pack, Twizz, for that particular instance.
It's true. That's
the
precisely.
fanny pack.
That's precisely. So.
But that demon hunter, I tell you, man, she's doing flips all over the place. She's throwing out some traps. She's like, "Oh, I'll stab you with my heel." Okay, I might have imagined that last part, but a girl can dream.
It's true. It's true.
But that's pretty much been my week in Blizzard Gaming. What about you, Hoda?
I'm kind of upset with you right now because you really took over everything I was going to say, minus the stabbing heels with a person.
You were going to sing Barbie Girl?
That was before the show. We cut it off, so that's good. Nobody gets to hear that. No, my week in gaming has actually been pretty limited as well, just with usually summertime is usually for like everybody to play around and do wild things, but not me, man. I'm too busy for that noise. So I had the same problem with you. I tried to log in to WoW a couple nights, and mostly just to stare at my awesome Tauren paladin because he's sexy. That's how I roll. I'm into the bestiality thing, I guess. A little awkward when you say it out loud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do I look?
But yeah, I had the same problem. My time was limited, so I didn't have the time. Yes, I didn't have the time as a tank to do any like a scenario or looking for raid. It wasn't that the queue. It was just like I didn't want to do the whole wing. You know what I mean? I wanted like that one boss. So I kind of I left it alone. I just wanted Lei Shen for the sweet like plate helmet that he has, and I just never get it. So I'm done with you looking for raid. I'm done.
While we're talking about Lei Shen, I have something amazing to talk about. How cool would it be, like, I was thinking about cosplaying at BlizzCon. How cool would it be to show up as a female Lei Shin?
Mrs. Shen. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would call you, Mrs. Shen.
Mrs. Shin.
Oh.
I was legit like in LFR this past week, and looking at him, and I was like, I could so wear like a leotard under there, and then like sew on some hanging stuff here and there, and I could be throwing some lightning all around. I totally got this.
You're not electrical enough. Did you book us? Did you did you book my hair salon appointment? Are you gonna do anything this trip?
So I guess that's a no to Miss Shin.
That's a no on Mrs. Shen. Yes.
Although I do have a question. What are you going to use for the lightning? Are you just going to like throw glitter in people's faces and pretend it's lightning?
I was thinking about taking just some aluminum foil and just like crinkling
You're
it
trying
and
to
throwing
unroll
it.
it really well. Oh, okay. Other than that, though, it's I missed so many things this week. Like I missed some raiding, and again, Lucian, a person in our Twisted Empire guild, he does that Brawlers Guild every Wednesday nights, and he totally let me have it for missing it again. So yes, I'm still on the Penguin. I'm like rank 2, still there. That's my gaming in WoW. But I did actually play a little Diablo myself, and for the same reasons Reb was talking about, I just enjoyed the me time I had. I could just not worry about kind of it sounds a little antisocial, but just like doing what I want to do and not have to worry about other people kind of thing, So I played through the storyline a little bit, but that's been a pretty slow week, but it's been okay. Hopefully I can pick it up on the weekend. What's happening with you, Twiz?
Oh man, you know what? I mean, it's pretty lame on all thring of our parts. Like I really didn't have
Right.
I didn't have much going on at all, but I'm glad that you brought up the Brawlers Guild because last night I did in fact get a chance to hop into the Brawlers Guild thing that Lucian and Besso were doing. It was you know what? I mean, like I just joined just to be social, just to kind of see it and hang out and see everybody there and wave and whatever. And so they get me in group or whatever, and Lucian's like, "Jump in," and it's like, no good can come of this, dude. So I jump in queue, and it's like, and I'm getting the little, I think it's DBM that tells me, you're next in line, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh my god, 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 oh my god. So I jump in there, and out comes this, and I'm like, I mean, I'm just blowing up guild chat. I'm like, and everybody's like, all right, guys, Twiz is in there. And I'm, no pressure. Okay. So anyways, I unleashed the fury on that dinosaur, and I got him down to like 92k health left, and he just beat me. I was out of cooldowns. I didn't time warp. I should have time warped, and I didn't.
So let me ask you this: that 5 seconds that you were in combat, did it hurt at all?
Little bit, and then I did die obviously because I got him down to 92k health, and he just roasted me, and so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm dead on the floor in the Brawlers Guild, and all I see in guild chat was somebody, I think it was Meanie. He's like, well, Twiz didn't do so hot, or he didn't make it, or I'm standing next to Twiz's corpse right now, or something like that, and it's like, all right, so maybe I need to not do this, but yeah, I'm making a big deal out of it because, frankly, I didn't have a whole heck of a lot in gaming. I had to work this past weekend, so that always throws a kink in the gaming plans. But the monk is like 85% of the way through 88. It's been a week, and I can't get out a stinking level and a half.
They even nerfed it for you. Come
Shut
on!
up. I know.
You know what, Hoda? Until you get that penguin down, you can't talk about leveling. You can't talk about
right?
Brawlers Guild.
Right? Thank you.
You're just silenced.
Thank you, Barbie. I appreciate that. So, so I've got 85%. I have logged on enough though to get my rested XP daily quest done. So I have a little bit built up in there, but I'm gonna get the last 15% quick, and at least ding 89. That way I'm on the home stretch. But you know what? We had a flood of tunes come into Twisted Empire and Twisted Dynasty because of the 50% off character service sales, and that was it. Was, you know what I mean? I haven't seen anything like this. I haven't seen a 50% off. I think that's the biggest number I've ever seen as far as a discount goes. But
I think so too. I think they did 25 before, but never 50. I don't think.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, the announcement actually reads, 50% off. If you've been thinking about switching realms or making other changes to your character, now is the perfect time, because this week all character services are 50% off. To get started, simply log into battle.net account management for more information on how it all works. So basically your character transfer, your faction change, your race change, your appearance change, your name change is all 50% off, and the sale ends June 10th, 2013. So that's I don't know, it's 4 days from right now, so that'd be Monday night.
You have until Monday to change your name to Barbie Girl.
Yeah.
Oda.
You know what? I did bring my rogue out of Twisted Empire and put him in Twisted Destiny, and I was like, oh, I need a good name for my rogue. I need a good one. And so I put it out there on Twitter, and I got some ideas and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden it hit me. Rogue is kind of like stealthy, hiding in the shadows, like Batman a little bit. So I named him Bruce Wang. Yeah? Yeah?
You have the buzzer. I wish I had the soundboard. Yeah.
Where's the little kids like,
yeah.
Oh,
Bruce
wait.
Wang! Oh, whoopsies. It's there. Anyways, so I played it. I played Bruce Wang for a little while, and that was fun. It was good to hang out with the people in Twisted Dynasty. Good people over there.
Is it panda? Is it a panda rogue?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay, that makes much more sense, because I'm just thinking like a gnome rogue, and I'm just like, what is this fella thinking?
Yeah. So yeah.
This is kind of a little drama topic too. Character transfers, because there's a lot of people I've seen on Twitter and elsewhere on forums and stuff where people are like, "Oh, I transferred a week ago, and what about me?" sort of thing. And I've been seeing like Blizzard has they had like a 3-day backup period. Wasn't they going like 3 days?
Like 72 hours prior to it kicking off if you did a character transfer or something like that. And it seems to me, like from what I've been hearing, not to cut you off and jump in your chili here, but it seems to me from what I'm seeing on Twitter and talking to people, they'll either reimburse you through game time, like they'll give you game time, or there's another way that they were compensating you. And I forget what it was. I don't think they actually went back and refunded money, did they? That you saw?
Raymond
that they
Monk
were
in chat
refunds.
just said you got 25 days of game credit, so probably game credit and stuff like that people got. So
okay.
I mean that's pretty awesome of them. I mean, just no matter what date they're gonna pick, somebody's always gonna be like 1 day late. So
wow.
This is pretty nice of them, I think.
Yeah. Well, you know what I see? I'm seeing in the chat room here, there's a whole bunch of... One person got 25 days, somebody else got 55 days, one person got a full refund, some person got a Walmart gift card. Oh, no, I don't think that's right. So,
Someone got a Nissan Maxima,
yeah, exactly.
2007.
Wow.
Under 12,000 miles. It's crazy.
Exactly. Oh, man. I can't believe we did that. I can't believe we said that. So,
Nissan, new sponsors are like...
I know, right? So here's the basic breakdown is, if for some reason, there's if you ever wanted to be part of the Twizzcast family and the things that we're offering as far as Twisted Empire goes, Twisted Dynasty. As a matter of fact, BlizzPro.com has actually named Twisted Empire as their meeting place, their, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. Whatever. So it's the official guild of Blizz Pros. So we are very, very excited to have that. And if you want to be a part of this, now is the time to do it while it's still 50% off. And you can be part of it. We opened up the Alliance Guild. We do have a new Twisted Empire / Twisted Dynasty commercial that will be airing tonight. Very excited about that. So. Yeah, Hoda and Reb, don't get too excited about that. So
well, I'm actually intrigued.
I'm kidding. It's I wouldn't expect you guys to get excited over it because you're already in Twisted Empire and Twisted Dynasty. So it's like,
Wait, what's Twisted Empire?
Wait, what? Okay.
I was a little preoccupied with this breaking news that we have. Do we want to discuss this now, or maybe
We
get on
can.
that
You know
a
what?
bit
We
later?
can. I didn't get a chance to read the entire post, but Hoda, if you want to kind of talk about what's going on, there was a breaking news, and this I don't have it in the show notes or anything, so we're going to kind of go on the fly. But Blizzard just announced basically a flexible rating that's coming in 5.4. And what that's going to be all about and stuff. Hoda read everything kind of in depth and has a really good idea what's happening there, and didn't sound like you were really happy with it, but I kind of felt a little different.
I read back over it again, and I'm really 50-50 with it. And it'll be amazing to some people and kind of to others, but all those times, either a 10-man or 25-man raid, you have like, oh, all we need is Greg to log on to main tank this 10-man, and then we can go. And what happens? Greg never logs on, so your raid knot is just shot. Or Reb, she just says, forget you guys. I'm playing Diablo all by myself.
It's true.
Happens.
Like, it happens. What they're introducing now, they're like, oh, I wish you'd just go in and the scale of the raid would just, like, conform to your raid group. So if you had, like, 9 people, if I had 12 people, 13. This is exactly what Blizzard is doing now. This just came out, like, 10 minutes before we started the show. It's crazy that they're actually going to implement this. And what they're saying here is they're looking for, it's flexible rating pretty much. They're going from 10, in between 10 and 25-man raid. So you can have any number in between that and have like a scalable raid size. So if you have like an odd number with 11 people, say, you can actually do a separate raid. And now this is a little bit different. It's a different raid lockout than your normal and heroic and looking for raid, I believe. So it's a completely different lockout. And the only you saying I didn't like it before, and this is kind of where I was getting to the part. It has a different item level as well, and they're saying it may fall in between the raid finder and normal quality gear.
Sure.
So I was just like, the way I was feeling, we just have so many eye levels and so many tiers now in a raid that adding one more, I don't know if it's the best idea, but this is great for teams that just miss that one person one night, can't get 10, 25 people together. They can actually, go into a raid and have a challenge. But
there's ups and downs to that, because if you have 9 people and your 10th guy doesn't show up or whatever, you can go into this other raid. But some people don't want that eye level, So it's like, no, we are not going to go into the the lower eye level of gear because we can't find a healer. We'd rather find a healer and go do that 10-man. You know what I mean? So, but on the flip side, where it's you have 10 people, like Ask Mr. Robot is in the guild, and they have people who are on the bench, that they rotate in and out. So the nice thing is that they can do a, the people who are sitting on the bench can actually raid with them. And back in the day when we had our 25-man, we religiously had that 21, 22, 23 people that would show up, and we'd always be 1 or 2 short, and we couldn't do TOT because we didn't have, we couldn't do it cross-realm. And so we would get cross-realm, two pugs, and then we would go into, Heart of Fear or wherever we were going to go into for that night. So I see some positive things going on with it. And to be honest with you, this actually took me back to the Dragon Soul days, where for a while, I mean, we were playing Dragon Soul, we were whooping it pretty good with a 10% or 20% nerf when they first started nerfing it. We got the gear that we needed, and then what we did was, once we kind of got the gear that we needed and everything, we took the nerf off, because you had the little buff that you could change it. I forget how you even did it, but and then we did it in normal mode. And that felt like progression to us, And so I'm a fan of when they do this kind of stuff, personally, just because there's so many different situations.
Yep, absolutely. And a couple more points here to make, they were saying, and this just came out now, so they may change it, tomorrow. But you'll be able to invite your real ID battle friends as well to this. And it's saying here that the item level is not really required for this. It scales to your group. So pretty much these are large challenge modes, is what I'm reading into this. Reb, can you back me up into this? Is this what's going on here?
Yeah, that's what it's sounding like, because it doesn't give a testament to the difficulty, just that it's scaling to how many you have in the group. So if you have just 9 people in the group, it's going to scale it down so it's not as difficult on your healers or your one tank or anything like that. And then it's not really fair to have the same difficulty for 9 people as 24. So you don't want to have 24 people and just steamrolling.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the real question, like, how difficult is this going to be, is really the question to come out of it, I think.
Well, I mean, we know that it's going to be between normal and LFR. And you know what? I think that is a perfect range for a lot of the people. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I'm going to come up front and just say it, like, rating for me this expansion has been a nightmare. It has not worked.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, and it's not really, I mean, it's no fault of the, I mean, I say it's no fault of the people I'm with, and I mean, but I can't rightfully say that. But you know what? Here's the thing: it's the fact that we had so much inconsistency, with our raid team, and so we had good people, we had a good raid, solid core team, and progression just, I don't know, it didn't happen. And I think if we could back it off of the 10-man normal, but we don't need LFR easiness. If we had that in between there, I'm good with that. I mean, I'm okay with that. For a casual raider, I think we would have made a lot more progression if something like this was implemented. I think we would have done leaps and bounds better as far as morale goes. People would have been getting gear upgrades. They would have felt progression, regardless of whether it was easy or or not nerfed, I suppose. I truly think that would have been that this is going to be a game changer. This is going to be what a lot of casual guilds need, smaller guilds, and stuff like that. I think this is what they're going to need. Now, the thing that I'm very concerned about, and the thing that I'm wondering is like you brought up before, Hoda, how are they going to balance all of this? It's like, okay, so we've got LFR gear that's like the lowest raid that you can get, and then there's another tier, and then there's another tier, and then there's 10-man heroic, and then there's 25-man, and then there's 25-man heroic, and then there's Thunderforged, and then it's like, okay, I can get the same item with 14 different eye levels depending on what difficulty I'm doing, and
it gets confusing.
Yeah.
I miss the days where we had. Well, this was back in Kata, where you had one gear for normal and one set of looking gear, and then a different set that looked similar but a different color scheme, and it was just heroic, and you just had 2 to deal with. And even I miss looking back at like all the tiers that I did miss, where it was like, this is what tier 1 looks like, this is what tier 2, and then they started switching it up, and this was like 10.5 and 9.7. No, just kidding. But now it's just going to be crazy all over the place. I don't even know how to describe the tiers that have come out like this expansion so far, and this is just going to throw a wrench in it, and I'm just like, oh good gracious, I'm not going to transmog this because I don't know how to describe it.
You ready for this? They are definitely not tears of joy. Okay, sorry.
I would actually give it a small chill for that. That was pretty good.
Yeah, actually.
All right, sorry. What was it? French toast, whatever you were. So, anyways, if you don't know what we're talking about, go back to the last episode. But you know what? I'll be anxious to see what kind of speculation comes out, what more information comes out, and honestly, what other podcasts are going to say it, because there are so many great podcasts out there where people really speculate. Like it's like the Horde for Life podcast. Rich Fisher is one of the guys that really, really thinks these things out and does an amazing job, and I will be very anxious to hear what his thoughts are on this and stuff like that. So, more on this as it develops. But in other Blue Post news, we did have a little bit of regret from Ghostcrawler when talking about some of these things. So, Reb, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, it's true. So we did have that unannounced 5.4 feature that Ghostcrawler had been hinting at, and that we were all going, oh, what is it? But, we may be a little bit let down, and Ghostcrawler is actually mentioning on his social media Twitter account how he kind of regrets putting that out there. And he's mentioning that he wished he had never said anything about that. And it's because when we are offered so much, and we have one thing that's supposed to be amazing and deliver so much, when it isn't delivered how we see it in our mind, and it's not living up to what we expected, we're just going to spend that whole patch just complaining about that one ordeal.
Yeah.
And it's like we were offered and given so much, but this one thing that they didn't deliver on, we're going to get so hung up on. And, I actually like that they let us know beforehand what they're planning and what they want to see in the future. It shows that Blizzard is creative and ambitious and still trying to push the game forward and still trying to give all of us subscribers something to live for and something to keep playing for. Sure. But they actually wrote some blue posts and we have here's the issue we run into regularly. If we share incomplete information or a hint at something without proper context, some people end up being disappointed. That's just what I said, because it's not what's in their head, and it doesn't end up being implemented. And these things actually change in development. And that means even if they do give advanced information, it could change. And for some reason, that change could be constructed as worse than what they've actually experienced pre-change or not. And you may not mind when things change. Many people don't, but from our experience, most people tend to be a little bit happier when they can get a more complete picture. They don't want to give the idea that they're lazy by not letting us know what they have in the works. And, I feel for Ghostcrawler, I really do. He gets a lot of flack for putting his neck out there to the community, and when things just don't follow through, the community can be kind of terrible.
Brutal. Yeah, pretty brutal. Yeah, and I mean, that's like, okay, like for example, my wife and I am the worst at keeping secrets, because it's like, I'm just so excited about what I have bought for her birthday or Christmas or whatever it is, and it's like I want to give it to her, and then as soon as I give it to her, it's like, are you going to be, oh my God, what if she doesn't like this? What do I do? And I mean, this is how he feels, because he gets so much, like you said, he gets so much flack from people. No matter, you could come out with the best idea ever that's going to change the game, and there's going to be a bunch of people that don't like it. Not necessarily because they have legitimate reasons, but probably because they don't understand it, and it's just cooler to not like it, because that's just how some people are. But on the flip side of that coin, he just doesn't want to let people down, or maybe he thinks it's really cool, but not everybody else is going to think it's really cool. I understand where he's coming from. So, but Bashiak was tweeting earlier about, this is not just one big thing in 5.4. It's a series of things that are coming out in 5.4, and you can pick whatever you like to be the best. Now, one of two things is happening. Either that is what should have been said to begin with, or Bashiak put that out to kind of take the heat off of Ghostcrawler a little bit for saying that, this big thing in 5.4 is coming out and is being released and whatever, and then regrets saying that. Maybe Bashiak is coming out and saying, well, it's a couple of things, what do you want to be the best? And just kind of, trying to ease the tension a little bit, which is awesome. So, or
maybe saying it's not a huge ordeal, and don't be jumping up Ghostcrawler's booty hole because it's not one big thing. It's a lot of things that they're doing for us, and we should be more grateful for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. When you get the booty hole involved, just saying.
That's when things just hit the fan.
Oh gosh. Okay, moving a little bit along here. There was an actual a tweet about legendary items that kind of made me go, huh? Did you see that, Hoda?
Yeah, I saw it. The furthest anyone has gotten to receive is the 600 item level cloak that was implemented in patch 5.3, I believe. Is that right?
Maybe.
And now the actual weapon, that everybody's assuming we will get, right? Won't come out until 5.4. Now, are you certain it's a weapon?
Yeah. Well, that was the response that we got. Is are you certain it's a weapon?
I had the same thing. I have no idea.
The winky face tells all. I mean,
I swore I saw it somewhere that's not a weapon.
I'm telling you, it's a mount.
A mount?
How many times do I have to tell y'all?
Legendary mount?
It's the changing chameleon fairy dragon.
That's right. Your blog, you talked all about it. Yeah.
No, for real. Like I think it's going to be something special. If it's not a weapon, it's something special. And it's not going to be like, oh, here's a gem you're going to put in your helmet, or here's a little gem you're going to put in your old weapon. It's going to be something special and worth it.
It's a ring. You're wrong. It's just going to be a ring. It's not going to be a sweet mount. It's going to be a ring.
Not even a pair of rings. It's just one ring.
One ring too. Yeah.
You can only equip it in your right ring socket.
My guesstimation is that they are introducing a new slot in 5.4 where you can equip things. And you will be given legendary undies.
Like
calling it right now.
Over
Legendary
undies, like superhero style? Like
yes.
Over the pant, whitey tighties?
Then it's decided, like, all of Twisted Empire and Twisted Dynasty, like, we're all going to unequip our pants and just be running around with that.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Legendary. Yes, exactly. Legendary, and I'm going to call it right now. I think that's going to be the show title, Legendary Undies. So,
what if my undies are a little faded? Are they war-torn, or is that...
War-torn? Is that what you said? Your war-torn undies? Oh, God.
It happens.
Man, this is not... Oh.
It happens on Taco Thursday. It does.
Oh, gosh. And the next
It's Taco
expansion, you don't
Tuesday,
get rid of them.
okay?
You just turn them inside out. Right? Okay. So, all right. Anyway, speaking of inside-out underwear, the Dark Moon Fair is now cross-realm zoning it up. And so, basically, I think what the feel they were going for is you show up... when I show up at the Dark Moon Fair... there's usually not a whole bunch of people that are there that are experiencing life with me. It's kind of like me and the carnies, which is how I spent the majority of my life growing up. But anyways, this is what I see. I go in and I do my little quest. If I'm leveling my profession, I go in, I do my quest, no big deal. Out I go, and that's about it. So now it's all cross-realm zone. And what they were trying to get was the hustle and bustle. Because anytime you go to a real-life carnival...
it's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, you got people throwing up snow cones, you got elephant ears everywhere, rides, people are pickpocketing each other, it's nuts.
Clowns making fun of your big nose
Thank
and you try
you.
to dunk them.
Absolutely.
Sorry, that was an old childhood.
I always just get
memory.
people smelling my hair.
Wow.
I thought mine was bad, but that's even worse.
Wow. People smelling your hair. And so, anyways, that was one of the things that got brought up, is the fact that that's what they were going for, but now it's like, oh, it's a little too crowded. And what are we going to do about this? Because, it's all the profession things are gathering. For jewel crafting, you got to gather the little glass bits and then turn them into a big glass thing, and you skill up 5 points. And for enchanting, it's the same way, and whatever. And now they're running into the bottleneck. When you're trying to do some of these quests, it's bottlenecking because respawn timers are slow and people are just everywhere. So Blizzard noticed it, and I think they're going to be toning it down, but I don't know for sure if or when that's actually going to happen.
Honestly, like, if you think about it, of course it's going to be crowded. You have all these Tauren running around. I mean, seriously, Twiz, think about it. Think about trying to get on that carousel, and you have orcs and undead and dwarves and gnomes. You probably just get shoved to the side when a Tauren comes through. They're just a little bit on the bulky side.
So racist.
Oh, honestly, Reb, you know what? It's hilarious that you bring that up, because that very same thing happened to Angry Orc, believe it or not. So here is Angry Orc's latest diary entry that explains what he did in this particular situation. Dear Diary, I love summer. It's my favorite season after spring and winter and fall. Okay, I hate summer, but here we are. I guess it's not all that bad. Birds are chirping, flowers are blooming, allies are dying. It's enough to put a spring in your heroic leap, and who doesn't love that? Today I decided to take a summery stroll to hunt Warbringers. Now, in case you don't know, a Warbringer is a big dino loser that gives you neat stuff when you kill it. I like neat stuff, almost as much as I like killing things. So I figured this would be a win-win. Put my axe on my shoulder, and off I went. It didn't take me long to find one, and man, was it big. I didn't care. I charged in with my axe a-swinging. And I promptly got my butt kicked.
Shut up!
I was devastated. How could this be? I'd never lost a fight before. I was ready to take another stab at him when a huge Tauren rumbled by. This thing was huge and smelly. Smelly like no other. Sorry, diary, I couldn't resist the cow joke. And suddenly this cow thing charged at the Warbringer. The big hairy thing was having as hard a time as I was. The battle was epic, and the cow was losing. It was near death, so I thought, this is going to be my chance to help a fellow Hordie and do something together in the name of cooperation. We can work as a team and then divide the loot evenly as equals. Nah, I watched the tour and die, finished off the Warbringer, and kept all the stuff for myself. Who's up for some beef jerky? Signed, Angry Orc. Today, we salute you, Mr. 3 frames per second man. Mr. 3 frames per second man! You dare dream of a world where the fire animation is something you can easily walk out of. Get out of the fire! You boldly embark on quests that take 4 times as long. I don't know if I'm still in combat! And one day, you'll actually be able to see your bobber dip when you fish. I don't know if I should click now! And Moonguard will no longer kick you due to FPS problems. Mail not out looking for fun. So here's to you, Mr. Sultan of Suck. DoghouseSystems.com can build you a rig and put you back in the game with the rest of us. You deserve it, your raid team and arena team deserve it, and so do the rest of us. Mr. 3 frames per second man. Go to DoghouseSystems.com and use the coupon code TWIZ at checkout to double your memory. Twizzcast would also like to remind you to game responsibly.
What do you think? I like turtles. All right.
He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me.
The news.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay, don't forget to follow at AngryOrc1 on Twitter for your daily repetitive dose of hilarity and awesomeness, or come to the Twizzcast chat room, and you can go ahead and talk to him yourself. Now, the Blizz Pro news, which we have, oh god, just a ton to go through, kids, is in fact sponsored by AskMrRobot.com. If you want to push your character to his or her fullest potential, Ask Mr. Robot will make sure that your gear is set up properly to do that. So, again, this week, everyone, we're going to bring you up to speed on what's been going on with Blizzard games and kind of weigh in our opinions on some of the news for each of them. All of the things that we're about to discuss can be found in the show notes at Twizzcast.com and at BlizzPro.com, which should be on your daily list of sites that you visit anyway. So, I'll be honest. There was so much news that came out. It had me more confused than an Amish electrician, and so hopefully we'll get that all ironed out. Right off the bat, there's an article posted by Eldorian about the Battle.net desktop client, which is coming soon. Now, this is a feature that will be somewhat of a game changer, or at least when it comes to Blizzard games. You'll be able to log in and chat with your real ID buddies without even having to be logged into the game, which is kind of unbelievable. Our friends over at MMOchampion.com did get some pretty good screenshots of how this all worked, and I've got it displayed here for the chat room. The biggest advantage to something like this is that your friends will be able to get a hold of you if they can't make it to raid, as opposed to like having to exchange phone numbers and stuff like that. Even Twitter can fall through sometimes because not everyone uses it or likes it. You know, they don't even realize they have to, put at TwizTE, I can't make it. They just type in their, it's like a status update. Hey guys, I can't make it to raid, and so it can easily get missed. So something like this, it looks to me like it's going to be kind of a game changer as far as social networking goes. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they're always changing up how we play socially. Like with the implementation. Oh my goodness, I cannot talk tonight. Barbies don't have to talk. Anyways, with the implementation of having Battle.net friends, where you just have a battle tag instead of actually having to exchange your real name and information and actual not Gmail, email.
Yeah.
And they're constantly in motion with these kind of things and constantly trying to get us connected to one another and actually be a community and be part of an MMORPG and have friends and connect and not just be a lonely player like myself and Hoda was this week. But I think this is so cool. And a lot of people in the chat room right now are kind of voicing the opinion of what I first thought of when I saw this desktop client. And that was, it kind of reminds me of Steam, where you can have your friends on there and talk to them and have them send you messages back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. Even looking at a little more detail, it pretty much replaces all the launchers you have for, like, say on your desktop, you have all, like, StarCraft, Diablo, Warcraft, you go into, they have their own launcher, but this is, like, rolls it all into one.
Yeah.
And it's really fantastic. You kind of look around and you see, you can customize your avatar and have, like, different backgrounds of the different games for Blizzard, and it looks really great, actually. And it's like an all-in-one center for everything. So I think it's a great little thing they're adding here.
Yeah, there's I just put for the chat room. There's some of the avatar icons that they've kicked out so far. So I don't know. It seems to me like it's still under. I mean, they're in the beta testing right now, but I can't wait to see where this goes, how they try and expand it a little bit more, and I'm very anxious because this is this going to be the new Twitter? Because I mean, all of my Twitter stuff is WoW. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, if I can access like my real ID friends and stuff like that, that would be super awesome via something like this. Like, is this a chat program that for your phone that's going to come out too? I mean, there's so many things so many questions that I want to know about and whatever. We're just gonna have to wait and see, because right now it just looks like a bunch of pictures and a little bit of information got pulled out of it. But I'm very I can't wait to see this. So. But there is, speaking of which, there is a little bit about the Warcraft movie coming out. Reb, what do we know about that?
Yes. Okay, so the last time that we talked about the Warcraft movie, it was to announce that Duncan Jones, the son of David Bowie, and he's the director of Moon and Source Code, he was added as the director for this. And there's been a lot of updates on this, and unfortunately, we're not going to see this actually in theaters until 2015, which, by the way, guys, I don't know if you know this, fun little fact, Avengers 2 and Star Wars Episode 7 are both supposed to be coming out that year as well, so it's going to be like nerd heaven.
In 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not actually going to start filming until the first quarter of 2014, which is pushed back a little bit from the last time we were hearing that they were going to start filming in late 2013. But the big news about this being pushed back to 2014 is, when are they going to start casting? Who are they going to start casting? Is it going to have any kind of relation to BlizzCon? Are they going to have people who are going to be in the movie at BlizzCon greeting? Is there any fan input to say, oh, we would like to see this person in this type of role because they fit this? It's really interesting developments, and honestly, I don't think they're going to wait until BlizzCon to actually give us the information and say, oh, well, let me introduce you to who's going to be playing Thrall or who's going to be playing Jaina. I think we're going to get leaks along the way as they're added, just like how we got this leak about Duncan, and it was announced almost immediately like that. But it should be noted that the film, for now, is just conveniently titled Warcraft, not World of Warcraft. So this is going back to the original Warcraft gaming. And I'm wondering if it may have a storyline that's based kind of the older lore about Thrall, or even the orcs coming to Azeroth, or anything like that. And it's really intriguing to hear these developments as they come along. And I will be there at the midnight premiere, and I will be cosplayed as Mrs. Lation with my legendary undies on, and I will be one of those people. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it has any relation with BlizzCon and what we're going to hear there?
I don't know. I would be very anxious. I know for a fact that they are ramping up to make this BlizzCon something like, I mean, they make every BlizzCon just off the charts. But I've seen, and I know for a fact that there's so much extra going on behind the scenes to make, I mean, they want to make this unforgettable. Okay, and I'm using air quotes there. And it's like, what do you have up your sleeve? Titans pushed back to 2016. Okay, there's only one game that's being released this year. So what else do you have in the oven right now? You know, and maybe it has something to do with this. So I'll be honest, this is the very first, and I wish I had the picture here for the chat room, but it's on BlizzPro.com. It's under the title Warcraft Film, planned to shoot early 2014. You can see the picture here, and I'll be honest with you, he's the picture of him is there, and he kind of looks like Tom Hanks from Castaway.
Whoa, do not hate.
So
he's just being a bro, okay?
I know.
Bros can be bros.
He's like, I'm a rich bro. I don't have to care about what I
he's
look
just
like.
broing out. Like,
yeah.
I'm rich and talented, and I got signed to the Warcraft movie as director.
Yeah, some might be disappointed that the shooting got pushed back, but any like solid news on this movie is good news for me because I can wait the couple years. As long as we get the news that it's actually happening is really exciting. And it's funny that you mentioned casting a little bit earlier, Reb, because on BlizzPro, our very own Zen Style, they kind of had a fun little article where they threw some Hollywood actors out there that may be fun and maybe fit some of the more prominent characters in Warcraft. For example, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for Garrosh, and Kate Beckinsale for Sylvanas, and fun stuff like that. So it's a great little article if you guys haven't checked it out.
So I want you to pick pick an actor, and then who would they play in the Warcraft movie?
Me, everybody.
What? You okay? It would just be called War Reb. Reb plays everybody.
I'm for it.
So seriously, pick one character and one movie star, and who would fill the slot? Who would do it? Any ideas? Red, do you have any ideas?
Yes, Illidan, and I would say if they could make William Dafoe look younger, William Dafoe is Illidan.
I'm mad about that. It's all right.
Wow.
I will go with Tom Hanks as Gammon.
Ooh. Okay.
What?
All right. It's a good
the
thing.
Mighty Tauren in Orgrimmar, if anybody doesn't know.
It's Gammon. It's a good thing you and I aren't in charge of this because, oh God, I had Jim Carrey as Arthas. So I don't think we probably would have gone very far with that.
No.
Who is Arthas?
I don't know. He's the leader of the light or something, right?
Wait,
Gary?
no. Gary. Who's Gary?
Gammon. Gammon, the dude that's in Orgrimmar that used to you just walk and kill him for no reason, and then they buffed him when Cataclysm came out.
Yeah, but where does Arthas come in? I'm not.
I don't know. I just want to put him in there, and I can because it's my show.
He
so
just
get my
threw names that he had heard before.
I
And
did.
he's like, I think one of these are actors. I
One of
think one of
these-
these are characters.
Jim Carrey.
Well,
he'd make a great one. He'd make a great one.
You
Why?
nailed it.
Why am I not? What am I missing here?
Jim Carrey is Vol'jin.
No way. No way. That would be Gary.
That was
Coleman.
hard. I can't believe you put us on the spot like that. Because I'm looking exactly at this BlizzPro article, and they got like pictures of the avatars of the characters and like that of the actors, and they do a pretty good job actually if you check it out. So
Christian there. Oh my gosh! In that article, the picture that they chose, he does look just like Tyrion Fordring.
Yeah.
He does.
I know. Angry Orc says Oprah Winfrey as basic campfire. Oh boy! Oh,
You get a fire, and you get a fire, and you get a fire.
Everybody. Oh boy! This is why I love this show. Oh boy! So, anyways, there is more to come, and I mean, we didn't really make light of this. I didn't intend to make light of this article. It's a very well written article. It's like I said, it's over on BlizzPro.com. But there's a lot to look forward to. And in all seriousness, as far as this movie goes, I have no doubt whatsoever that it's not going to be all right. I guarantee you, no matter what, it's not going to be all right. It is going to be off the charts, like like freaking Titanic or something crazy, or it's going to be so stupid it's going to be like Steel Magnolias or something,
Whoa.
The Notebook.
Favorite movie? The Notebook is amazing.
The Notebook is terrible, but you don't touch Steel Magnolias. You don't touch it.
We went there.
You don't touch it when you're talking to a Southern woman.
If you're a bird, I'm a bird, Reb. You know.
Oh boy.
I'm a Barbie girl.
You are.
Next article.
Weezer. Okay. So yeah, next article. You know what, Hoda, Mr. Diablo, I'll let you handle this one if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Diablo 3 gets a new game director, and we all want to welcome from Twizzcast and BlizzPro, welcome Josh Mascara. I think I'm pronouncing that right, pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Mascara,
Woo, what's up?
Yeah.
And that's really exciting. Yeah. It's been several months now since Diablo's former game director, Jay Wilson, stepped down in position. So Blizzard went ahead and got a new lead game designer for Diablo 3, and he was for the consoles. And so Josh is taking over as just lead game designer. So again, over on BlizzPro, there was a great little video. Sorry, woo, calm it down.
Miari's video where she
yeah, our
she,
co-founder for Miara, and she had a meeting with Josh at PAX East, and they were showing off the Diablo 3 on the PlayStation 3, and she was sitting down for an interview, and it's a really great interview. He kind of goes over the transition from kind of the grid-based thing you usually have on PCs to kind of a more radical-looking layout, you know,
right.
So the controllers feel a lot better.
Right.
And it doesn't feel... It feels more console-y, I guess, if that's a thing. It doesn't feel as... I don't know. Because, you know, on Diablo 3, you're always kind of following your cursor, he was saying. And I think it's going to play really well on the PlayStation because the controllers will just feel more fluid, I think, than just following your mouse around. So I'm actually really excited to check this out. But
no, I'm a huge fan of it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see in the interview, he kind of goes over just the basics of bringing it to the PlayStation, and he's really excited about it. So I hope to see that excitement like go into, you know, more of the game. So I'm really excited to see him like kind of step up and be the man now.
Sure.
And what developments he can put out.
Yeah.
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 Developing developer. No, and it is very. I don't know. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like, I play my dungeon crawlers on consoles, you know, where I have a joystick that I'm controlling the dude with, and that's what I'm just a fan of. And so I'm very much looking forward to this. And the interview, like I said, the video interview that's on BlizzPro.com, where we're featuring this particular video. Miari does a phenomenal job, you know, just covering and getting in depth with, you know, the questions she should have asked, she asked. And it just gets you excited for something like this. So make sure you're checking that out. Let's see here. The next thing that came out is, believe it or not, the WCS, the official WCS website is live. So this is absolutely crazy. It has helped me out quite a bit, honestly. Blizzard has officially released the WCS website, and it's basically a one-stop shop for everything related to WCS. For those of you who are like me and have a WoW background and don't know much about StarCraft and what this WCS is all about, this website is put together to basically break it all down for you. We sit here in the show and we talk about Challenger Leagues, Premier Leagues, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a League of Their Own. You get the idea. It's all very confusing. So
no crying in StarCraft.
There is no crying in StarCraft. I'm gonna let the here you go chat room. There's a view of the top section of the website. It's absolutely gorgeous. Here's what I like about it. They've obviously integrated their WCS Today YouTube channel with it, and right off the bat, it'll play the most recent episode and give you highlights of what's happened recently in the tournament. If there's a live match happening when you go to the website, that is what's being played. So, and it also gives you all the bracket and leaderboard standings on top of the fact that the website is absolutely gorgeous. And here you go. If you scroll down on the website there, for the chat room, you guys can see if you were to scroll down, that's what they have. You know, it shows you the schedule of when the next event is coming up, what group, you know, like the WCS Season 1 finals, there's Group A, Group B, Group C. It gives you the leaderboards, and the points, where the region that they're from, shows you the bracket and everything. And then it actually, again, like I said, it incorporates the YouTube channel, so you can go back and look at like the WCS top 5 week for June the June 3rd, the one that aired on June 3rd. So, yeah, I think it's very cool, and a lot of people that listen to this show are WoW players, and I get that. It was very difficult for me to jump onto this StarCraft thing and try and understand it and wrap my mind around it because I was so comfortable with WoW. But I'm telling you, people, the more that I learn about it and the more that I see how this is, and Blizzard, now is the time. They're going out of their way. They're doing stuff like this website, to get people involved and understanding what is happening and how this whole thing works, because this is a whole nother world that they want to show this to. So very excited about that, and you can get into that website at wcs.battle.net. And it's I'm very, very excited about that. Now, speaking real quick of the WCS, just to give a quick update, the Korea regional finals, and you can see all this on the wcs.battle.net. The Korea regional finals were last weekend, and Seolki came back from down 0-3 to Innovation, so he's losing 0-3 to a guy named Innovation, and came back to win the next 4 matches, and he ended up winning 4-3, and he took to take home the Korea region. The title is the Korea region winner. The American finals were also this past weekend, and 5 Koreans qualified for the global finals, and Hero beat Revival in the finals. Now, this weekend, starting tonight, the Season 1 finals will begin being played in South Korea. The top 5 from Europe, America, and the top 6 from the Korean regions will play in a round of 16. 13 of the 16 playing in the finals are Korean. The tournament starts Thursday night, and a champion will be crowned after the final match is played Sunday, June 9th. And let's see here. Yeah, that's this Sunday, so if you're listening to this on the download, it's already happened. And the winner is going to be taking home $40,000. So I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's craziness. It's crazy.
I'm doing a career change to StarCraft professional player.
Seriously.
Yeah, get on it.
Seriously.
No, this is great, Twiz. I just checked this out like yesterday, and as you said, when you log into it, if there's a live match going, it's automatically brought up. And that's exactly what happened. I was like, oh, all of a sudden there's people yelling and excitement. I was like, what's happening? So I started watching for a little bit, and I'm like you. I'm really a beginner of StarCraft. Yeah. So I just know like the general terms and basic things of like what to do, not like strategies or anything like that. But as I listened to it, I heard some of those things, and I kind of looked for it. So even if you're not into it, it's funny, I'm looking in the chat room here, there's kind of back and forth where people, they like StarCraft, they're not into it, but people enjoy watching it. And this was fantastic. Like, the commentary is great. The video quality is great as well. So it's really fun just to watch if you got any time or interested in something like that. So I enjoyed it immensely, and I'm, really new to the whole esports thing. I have to relate it
to when people are like, oh, I don't play StarCraft, or I'm not good at it, I would enjoy watching the tournament. People, I am very, very bad at sports. Terrible. And yet I will sit there and watch an NFL game. And be honest, people, are you really, really good at sports, and yet you're still watching that Miami Heat game? Or are you still watching your Minnesota Vikings? Come on. Try it out. It's fun.
Okay. All right. I think we found Rev's weak spot, and that's sports.
It's sports.
I can go ahead and start talking about Arthas and Jim Carrey again if you'd like.
Gammon Arthas. It's so amazing.
Gammon Arthas. That's actually the same person.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
Shut up.
It is.
Shut up. Let's get back to StarCraft 2, because we've got... I'm not going to let this go, because this is one of the coolest things that has happened all week. So, speaking of StarCraft 2, I want to talk about another announcement that was actually predicted by BlizzPro's head cheese Eldorian, and he is in the chat room here, so guys, give him a fist bump. Last weekend, he made a post about an achievement that he noticed in the Feats of Strength for StarCraft 2 that was entitled Spawning Pool Party. And for those of you who don't know what spawning is, it goes back to the old school StarCraft days where people who didn't own a copy of StarCraft could use your CD to install the game, and you guys could hook up together and do LAN events. Well, it turns out that his speculation that spawning is coming to StarCraft 2, and it just got confirmed. So all you have to do is go download the starter edition of the game, and you'll be able to join your friends in the following ways. All versus AI modes, including team games, ranked and unranked team ladder matches, all custom game maps, complete arcade access. One of the things that needs to be pointed out there that I think is unfortunate is starter edition players will only be able to play the starter edition race, which at the time is the Terran. So this means that even though you'll be able to play with your friends, you won't have access to the Protoss or Zerg race for play. So there's a little bit of a restriction. I think they're working on moving that or changing that or altering it. But as it stands right now, to my knowledge, that's all you can play is the Terran race. But you know what? I mean, hey, it's all about playing with friends and being connected. And to be honest with you, I wish I gamed in the days of the LAN parties. Did you guys ever do that or no? I'm the old guy of the crew here, so.
I think I was like 7 when this was out. Just kidding. I don't know.
I was forging my legendary undies during that time.
No, I used to do the same thing. Yeah, not so much with like StarCraft or anything, but like the Halos and back in the day, you had the 4 split screen, and you're playing Cruising the World on Nintendo 64. Mm-hmm. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But not so much what you're saying, old man.
I know. Well, seriously though, how fun would this was back before the internet? Like you had to take your computer to your buddy's house for the weekend. Now I don't care what you say. When it comes to retro gaming, this sounds like something that I would have. If I don't know, if I was younger right now, or I don't even know how to say it, but basically, like I would be probably getting a divorce right now because I would be like every weekend packing my whole computer up to my buddy's house and sitting there playing LAN, doing LAN games all night because Diablo is that way, StarCraft that way. And that was just what you did. You'd have like freaking crazy amounts of computers hooked together. Everybody's playing against each other, and you end up, smashed and passed out, and everyone's drunk, and your computer's broke, and then you get it fixed that week, and you do it again the next weekend, And so, I wish I had that kind of thing, But, anyways, my wife would not stand for it because not good. So,
the dark days of gaming. Huh?
Oh, it's true. But you know what? One of the cool things one of the other things that I wanted to bring up that I thought was really freaking awesome, and this is a big pat on the back for BlizzPro again, is the lead story developer Mickey Nielsen has launched his own personal website. Now, let me explain this going on. This is the final article that we're going to cover. For those of you who don't know who Mickey Nielsen is, obviously he's the lead story developer at Blizzard Entertainment, and he's obviously got a very impressive background. He joined Blizzard before they were Blizzard. Back in those days, though, they were called Chaos Studios, which is there's a little bit of info, trivia for you. He's recently launched MickeyNielsen.com, MickeyNeilson.com, that he updates with what types of projects he's working on, what events he's going to be making appearances at, so you can get your books signed by him and all that jazz. Now, here's one of the coolest things. The website was created by Chris and, I knew I was going to butcher this, J.R. Eldoran even told me earlier how to pronounce it correctly. I'm gonna look it up real quick, just that way I don't. It is Hainu Brunt. And Hainu is our resident graphic designer here at BlizzPro, and he's been working with Mickey Nielsen for several months now. He's done a lot of the image that you see on the website, as well as currently working on our logo. And he does all the images that you see at the video cast for BlizzPro Weekly. So hats off to him for being an intricate role in launching a website for someone so important in the industry. It's always awesome to see BlizzPro helping out in areas like this. So did you guys get a chance to see the website?
Yes, I did.
Okay. It looks sharp. He did a great job.
It does. And, I mean, his work is always amazing anyway, so
Yeah.
his work is always very impressive, and it's good. It's good. I'm very happy that he's part of our team, and we have such amazing workers and people who are so amazing in the community.
Sure. No.
Absolutely, yes. I love like the links are just everything's nice and clean, and to get to one page or the next or anything like that. It's very clean. That's how I like it. So
Sure.
Very good work.
Yep. So I'm very anxious to see what he's going to be putting on there and what he's going to be doing, and you know, it's just such a great link to somebody in the industry that that you know, it's just nice to just know what he's doing, you know, and so anyways. But that is all of the news that we have for you guys this week at Twizzcast. So we're going to take a quick break and come back with an email or two that you guys need to hear these emails that we got. One is a pretty serious game changer. So make sure that you tell a friend that you are listening to episode 53, Twizzcast.
I am Varen.
I am Admiral Thrawn.
My name is Kravix.
My name is Raman.
My name is Stormrazor.
My name is Paladin.
My name is Spedem Frost.
My name is Quinley.
My name is Umberlatro. I play Survival Hunter.
Night Elf Warrior.
I play a Pandarin Monk.
I am a Draenei Priest.
A Frost Death Knight.
I play a Holy Paladin.
Frost Mage.
I play a Survival Hunter.
Arcane Mage.
I'm from Orlando, Florida.
Nova Scotia, Canada.
Corey, Pennsylvania.
From Bellingham, Washington.
Wajak, Michigan.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Roy, Utah.
Bellingham, Washington.
Brooklyn, New York.
I am in Twisted Dynasty.
And I'm in Twisted Empire.
I'm in Twisted Empire.
Dynasty.
Twisted Empire.
In Twisted Empire.
And I'm in Twisted Dynasty.
Twisted Empire.
And I am in Twisted Dynasty.
Hello everyone, my name is Twiz, and I am the Guildmaster of Twisted Empire. Over the past year, we have continued to grow at an amazing rate. The Guild has appealed to people trying to find a new home because the one that they used to be in has either fallen apart or isn't what it used to be. If this sounds like you, the answer isn't to quit WoW and always look back on it with fond memories. World of Warcraft isn't going away anytime soon, so why should you? Twisted Empire has rekindled the love for WoW to hundreds of people, and it can do the same thing for you. We currently have raid teams, transmog runs, achievement runs, helpful leveling, and some of the most exciting people that you're going to ever talk to in-game. Up until recently, we've always been Horde, but now, on the same server, we've introduced our Alliance counterpart, Twisted Dynasty. It just broke ground, and it's already taking off. So I guess my message is this. Don't feel left out anymore, or let someone else bring down your game. Twisted Empire and Twisted Dynasty on Kultiris US. Welcome home. My name is Twiz. I play a Brewmaster Monk, I'm from Peru, Illinois, and I hope to see you in Twisted Dynasty or Twisted Empire.
Been sitting here counting the mail at the home 20.
Okay, real quick before we get into this, there was obviously some confusion about the mount that I gave away last episode. Now, my inbox got flooded with people saying, add me to the pile for the mount contest. I gave that mount away at the end of the last episode and to the chat room. So apparently, like I said, there was some confusion. Now, to make up for it, I will be giving away another Armored Bloodwing to a random person who emails me this week. So I don't want you guys to feel cheated in case I misspoke. So drop me a line, podcast@blizzpro.com, and I'll give one away on next week's show. So I have no idea how I haven't re-listened to the episode, but I thought, I don't know, I was like, all right, chat room, at the end of the show, I'm going to do this, and, you know, I don't know. You guys remember it all?
No.
Okay.
No.
You have to remember that was 7 days ago.
I know. I don't even remember 20 minutes ago, and so far this podcast has carried on for an hour and 15. So okay, but we did get some ppemails, and I'm very, very thankful for that. We've got 2 emails up front, and one that I absolutely cannot wait to read. So, Reb, do you want to go ahead and take the first one?
Sure. They write in Twiz, Reb, and Hoda. Hey, that's all 3 of us. I have to say I love the Windwalker monks. They seem to have a great deal of utility for raids. They seem to be AoE bosses with mass stuns via Leg Sweep and Fist of Fury, which also AoE attacks as well as an enhanced Rushing Jadewind Crane Kicks. Oh, good lord. Us North Dakotans tonight just cannot
can't pull
speak.
it together.
It's that weather.
It
drained
is.
us. Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, though. I seem to be lacking when boss fights come up. Single boss rotations seem to not be the niche for me. Any suggestions on skills or rotations to take me to the next level? Mainly just curious on how you see them as single target characters. Thanks. Blue.
Okay, so basically, and I am still learning myself about the Windwalker. As a matter of fact, I will probably be playing Windwalker more than Brewmaster, but here's one of the things that I'd like to recommend. And I know I mentioned this last episode, so I'm going to keep this very brief. But the CLC Monk add-on that gives you a picture of what ability to use next. Now, use it as a crutch to figure out why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, if you use your blackout kick or whatever, and it, or whatever ability you're going to use, it might put a buff on you, it might put a debuff on you. Then start manipulating your rotation a little bit by putting in your other cooldowns, like popping trinkets or popping agility potions or popping whatever it is that you need to do to. It's like, for example, like when I would play a rogue back in the day, I used this exact same type of add-on, and what I ended up doing was I would see how the rotation was, build up to 5 combo points. I hit and I forget the ability. It's where it's a guaranteed crit, basically. Reb, do you know what that one is? It's like.
Are you talking about your Venom or your Rupture?
No, it was you click it and it guaranteed that your next ability was a crit.
Oh my gosh!
Like I don't want to say it's
I
Icy
can't think of
Veins
it.
or something, but it's crazy. It's something like that. I forget. Maybe the chat room knows. But I would use that, and that way I would, use my Eviscerate, and that would get me, it would be a guaranteed crit and stuff like that. The add-on didn't tell me to do that, but I thought outside the box a little bit. My DPS kept improving. Now, as far as rating, I have rated with a Windwalker monk that had an eye level. I think he said he had somewhere around 509 or something. And it was a lot like what you described. When there was multiple mobs, he did very well. When it was single target, he did well. I mean, he ran with the rest of us. But I had a 498 eye level, and I was putting out, probably 10 to 15k more DPS than him. So that doesn't mean he's a bad player whatsoever. Doesn't also mean that the monk is not as powerful as it should be. So it's all about your play style and tweaking it and really understanding it. So my recommendation is to go through your rotation and go through all your abilities and spells with a fine-tooth comb and try and read ability to yourself and say, when would I use this? Why would I use this? And then just go from there. Try and build a rotation that way with and you can use CLC Monk as a crutch, and that's okay. So. That's my 2 cents. If you guys were in this type of predicament, what would you recommend? I know there's Preach Gaming on YouTube. He does all sorts of videos as far as class guides and stuff like that. That might be another good a good reference for you. But so what would you guys recommend? Anything that comes to mind?
Well, there's obviously Icy Veins, and they give you a good idea for your particular spec, and if you're doing a particular boss fight, which particular talents you need to have equipped. I know I've had to reference them a few times just to know to trade out talents that I didn't know I was supposed to have, and actually did help out. But there is also a YouTuber, I think they are specifically a Windwalker monk. Correct me if I'm wrong, Twiz. It's Eat Mo Pie.
Yeah.
Isn't he Windwalker, I want to say? And he does a lot of videos, and just watching him, watching is actually really helpful, and that's how I learned to do
sure
my healing on my druid. And so watching Eat Mo Pie might help you out, Blue.
Yeah.
For
the record, Kill Sparks in the chat room. Thank you. It's Cold Blood is the rogue ability. It was a level 60 old school final tier for assassination ability. So
when you said that, Twiz, I was like, Blue Skull. I can see it. I don't know the name.
That's exactly. Yeah. So anyway, sorry about that. I didn't mean to jump. I wanted to get that out because it was going to bother me. So
nice. No, I was just gonna say, he asked what's gonna take him to the next level. It's mostly just, as you were saying, Twiz, find that you either gotta clip your spells or know exactly when to hit them, and your debuffs or what you get. If you get like so many combo points, or how it works. Your armor increase, make sure that's up. Anything like that, just you gotta like exactly what you said. Go through it with a comb and know every situation of what to do and what's gonna fall off and what to put back on at the right time. That's pretty much how you will see the increase in your level, I believe, on boss fights.
Sure. Cool. Well, I hope that helps. And Blue, I'm going to be diving into the monk a lot more this week, especially. So there's a possibility that I might get thrown on part-time on a little raid team that's not really doing anything crazy, just one night a week for an hour or two. And if I do that, I will be Windwalker. So I'll be learning all about it there. So I will be in touch with you, especially since I know that you are under the Twisted Nation. So we did get a. I'm not even going to try in a remote. I couldn't even do justice reading this. Reb, we got an email from Monk Phone. Why don't you handle that one?
All right. My wonderful Monk Phone. He wrote in and said, Twiz, Reb, and Hoda. Once again, that's all three of us. What are the chances? This is Monk Phone, long-time listener, first-time writer. So listening to Reb and Hoda, I have come to understand they are lore nerds. Lore nerds.
Who'd have thought?
What? No way.
Yeah, I really don't. Well, he's come up with a question for us. In Kata, I did a few heroics that portrayed Illidan as a good guy helping kill the Burning Legion and that giant pit lord. Name escapes me, but when and how did he end up being a bad guy? What causes his fall from grace? I appreciate your response and look forward to listening to your show. By the way, I am Kanda Panda on the Alliance side, Prop Warrior, Monk Phone. Well, first off, in that particular heroic, the Pit Lord's name is Manaroth, and I wouldn't really say he's the good guy. I mean, he is fighting the Burning Legion, but I wouldn't necessarily say that his intentions are pure and wonderful.
Yeah, he's kind of the anti-hero a little bit.
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't delved a lot into the Burning Legion lore or even High Elves lore, but let me break it down for you. This is going to be the oversimplified version from Red. There was this lady named Tyrande Whisperwind. She's this priestess, and she's all beautiful and wonderful. And there are these two brothers.
So sexy.
Yeah, she's so sexy. She got a juice caboose and everything. And then there are these two brothers, Malfurion and Illidan Stormrage. Well, basically, Illidan's looking at her and being like, "Oh, girl, let me get that." And she's like, "No mana cookies for you." This has gone all kinds of wrong. It really has. But Illidan really liked Tyrande, and she actually didn't reciprocate the feelings. She actually started to kind of get feelings for Malfurion, his brother, and he started to more and more resent that his brother was getting all of her attention. And what do guys do when they don't get the girl's attention? They go crazy, and they start trying to get all powerful and whatnot. And he actually was feigning kind of his allegiance or friendship with Manaroth and the Burning Legion just to get the demon soul to gain more power. And the Burning Legion actually was in possession of the demon soul. And so he ends up having to smack some people around, kill some Burning Legion. And he's actually been just trying to get some power all this time. So that's the oversimplified Rev version from what I've just inferred over the years. What about you, Hoda? Do you have a more complex, boring version?
Yeah, definitely more boring for sure. No, it's pretty. Classic love triangle. Dude wants more power. He thinks he's doing the right things, but he's just doing the bad things at the wrong time. So then he gets mad, I guess, or frustrated because people don't see that he's trying to help, but it's just in a horrible way where it's just he looks more and more like the bad guy. So a very misunderstood character, I would say, in Warcraft. He has a crap ton of history and lore throughout the whole game, pretty much. So we're just kind of hitting the tip here. And
I mean, we could seriously go on for about 2
Yeah.
hours just explaining his story. Like, it's that in-depth.
yeah, but that's pretty much the simple explanation of it. He's just
He's a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
he's a misunderstood, like, emo
Basically,
night elf
think
demon
of it
person.
as like this. Demon Soul be the ultimate goal, but that crazy consort of Deathwing, she ends up getting it, and I'm getting into a whole different lore story right now. And save it for next time.
Cut us off, Twist. Get us out
This
of
has
here.
been Lore Time with Reb and Hoda.
All right. you guys. Okay. All right. And we have, yes. And that ends Lore Time, boys and girls. Okay, sorry. Was that a little over the top?
No, I think we should have that every time.
Okay. Alrighty. So, basically, alright. So, thank you, Monk Phone. I hope we answered your question, buddy. I wouldn't know if we did or not.
I think he was trolling you a little bit, sending that one into us.
Maybe a little bit.
I think he was too.
So, all right. So last week I was complaining, and it's time to be serious for just a minute. All right. Last week I was complaining about how we didn't get any emails, and this week, like I said, we got a few. But the one that I got here is probably the best email that this show has ever gotten. I picked myself up off the floor, basically, after I got done reading it. If you guys listened closely at the very beginning of the show, I dedicated this week's episode to Feshes. And it's because of this email that I did that. So this is how it reads. Greetings and salutations, Twizzcast crew. It's taken me a long while to get my thoughts together to write you this little note of appreciation. I've been listening to Twizzcast since your very beginning, and since your very beginning, and last October I underwent surgery for brain cancer. Lucky for me, I have an awesome shaped bald head for a girl, which is awesome. Anywho, during my recovery, I could barely hold my head up and do anything. But there was always something that made me smile and laugh, and that was your show. So I wanted to thank you for the smiles that you have given me before, during, and since. As of this week, I am glad to say that I am now a member of both Twisted Empire and Twisted Dynasty, and I am happy to be a part of it. Thanks again, Feshes. Yeah, deer in the headlights for me too. That was
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't know. It's just I don't know what to say about it. It's
I know.
very inspiring and very heartwarming. Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's one of the things, and for people who listen to this podcast and they don't do a podcast themselves, as a podcaster, you kind of lose touch a little bit with reality in the sense that it's another show. All right, I got to, when I look at Wednesday night and I go to bed, I think to myself, you know what? It's time to do the show again tomorrow. I'm just doing the show. I got to put the show notes together. I got to look through Blizz Pro, pull the articles out of there. I got to get in touch with these people and let them know what's going on. Do the show, pick some music, whatever. And it escapes me sometimes that there are people out there that this is more than just a show. This is something that they look forward to, their routine, their Monday morning drive to work, I just got out of surgery, pick me up. It's something that I don't know. It's very easy for a podcaster like me and Reb and Hoda and everybody to just lose sight of for just a split second and not remember that kind of stuff does happen. And she just wrote in to tell me about it. What about the other things that have happened that nobody else has talked about? Nobody else has written in an email and saying, you know what, during a very tough time in my life, I leaned on Twizzcast, or I leaned on World of Warcraft, or I leaned on StarCraft. I leaned on whatever it was that I leaned on because it got me through that point in my life. And I'm beyond blown away and beyond fortunate that she took the time to share that with me. And that's what fuels my fire. That's what makes everything that I've ever put into this worth it and then some. So Fesh's episode 53 is dedicated to you. Thank you for what you've done, and hopefully we can continue to make you smile. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to bring this episode to a close, and I really appreciate everybody in the chat room joining us. For all the information and articles on the stuff that we covered on this episode, you can go to Twizzcast or BlizzPro.com, where the links to everything discussed can be found. Quick mention of the sponsors. Here's what I'm going to do. Here, I'm going to put you in a scenario, okay? Your gaming rig just took a dump. Hoda, have you ever had that happen before to you?
Never.
Right?
Ever.
You are going to buy a new gaming rig. You want something that's going to last for the next 5, 6, 7 years. You want something that is going to have awesome technical support. When you call in, you're going to talk to the guy who built your computer. It's just going to be a gaming powerhouse. DoghouseSystems.com. They keep it simple. You've got a few different pricing tier, rigs to choose from. At checkout, you put the word Twiz in there, and you will double your RAM for free, all the way up to 32 gigs. So what did I do? I just took $90 and put it back in your pocket and said, go get yourself something else. So Twiz, 5 letters, save you some serious cash at checkout. And we're also going to be having... but we're getting the Blizz Pro logo kind of worked over a little bit, so I'm waiting for that. You're going to be able to get T-shirts from /loot.com if you're interested there. And again, Steel Series. I'm using the mouse right now. I don't know if I can get the chat room to see my Diablo 3 mouse a little bit. My cord is all wrapped up, but it's the Steel Series. I mean, if you're going to get a Doghouse system and you want the peripherals to go with it, Steel Series all the way. I still can't get my headset to work with my sound equipment.
So sad.
I know. My heart breaks. But my gaming experience is awesome. Hanging out and Mumble with everybody, and I'm a huge fan. So, so do you guys have anything that you'd like to say to everybody before we blast out of here?
Yes, gaming will be whatever you want it to be. So game safe and have fun, and you're beautiful just the way you are.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to try and contain this fire. So until next week, everyone, from the crew here at Twizzcast, we encourage you to game safe, love one another, and everyone within the sound of my voice, take care. Hey guys, you've been listening to Twizzcast, the official podcast of BlizzPro.com. You can follow us all on Twitter at Twizzcast, at TwizTE, at TankThatReb, and at Willie_Foss. The show notes and articles that we discuss can be found at BlizzPro.com. And if you'd like to drop us a line, send the email to podcast@BlizzPro.com. Thanks again, and we will catch you next week. All right, that is that.